Welcome back to One Tanya Daily, where we learn practical life lessons from Sefer Tanya. Today is for Kafei Kislev, the first day of Hanukkah, and we start with Perek Gimel, where the Alter Rebbe writes, Vehinai, Kol bechina imadreg mishalish elu nefesh ruach neshama. Now each distinction and grade of the three nefesh ruach neshama, Kulula me eser bechinas, consists of 10 faculties, Keneged eser spheres elyonis, corresponding to the supernal 10 Sephirot, which are the divine manifestations, Sheneshtalshalu Mehen, from which they have descended, which are, I'm just going to read the English, which are subdivided into two, namely the three mothers, which they're called, which is how they're referred to, and the 7 multiples, namely Chachma, Bina, and Das, and the 7 days of creation, which is Chesed, kindness, Gvura, which is power, Tiferes, which is beauty, and so on. The Rebbe is pointing out something very, very powerful when it comes to personal growth, self-growth, and when we go back to what the Rebbe is trying to do in Sefer Shel Beinanim, the Rebbe is trying to teach us how we can all be a Beinani, which in today's day and age is quite the accomplishment given the challenges we have when it comes to being close to God on a spiritual level, when it comes to just performing in life with all the distractions, all the things that are pulling us in all these different directions, from the screen that you're watching this on, to the big screens, to just all the noises. You go anywhere, the car has a screen and a radio and a podcast and a social media and another thing to schlep you away. So in context, to be a Beinani, to be someone that is in the middle, is quite an achievement, because it means we have some sort of equilibrium. We're not satisfied in the things that pull us down, but we do consistently and constantly go towards things that lift us up in physical life and in spiritual life. And I go back to what the Rebbe wrote on the Sharblat, Levar Heitiv, to explain well, Eich hu karov ma'od, how Hashem is very close. And it is based off of the pasuk, Ki karev elecha hadavar ma'od beficha uvilvavcha la'asoisoi, which is referring to the Torah. But the Torah is our manifestation of God. It's how we are actually able to connect with Hashem. In the context of Tanya, and in the context of self-improvement, and in the context of life, I'm going to put all three together here. When we focus on self, it's a bottomless pit. I'm never going to be perfect. Everybody understands that. You focus only on God, which, right, we're here to serve God. We forget about our family, our kids, our wife, our husband. And that also has many negative implications. However, when we understand that our mission with our family is God, and our mission with God is our family, everything else, it becomes easier to do in that context. In order to get closer to God, you need to get closer to your family. In order to get closer to your family, you need to get closer to God. Why? Because if your ego governs you, we don't have humility, then we need to be right. We need to win every argument. We need to be respected. We need to be feared, revered, loved, all these different things that are natural human wants and needs. However, when we bring God into our lives and we fill ourselves with humility in the face of God, we are not able to connect with our kids, with our families. We are far less important. What does my child want? What does my spouse want? And it often comes with many struggles, with hardships, with different challenges, but it becomes doable. Now, what the Rebbe is pointing out here in the beginning of this chapter is a very important tool and mechanism to achieve this. How do we achieve any goal we want to get to? Personal growth, spiritual growth, business, life, family, you name it. You might want to say, well, I make a decision and I change what I'm doing. My wife was upset at me, she told me why, and now I'm going to fix it. No, you're not. Because it's not how we operate. The Rebbe is pointing out here that we have a nefesh, we have a ruach, we have a neshama, and that within each of these three, it's split up into 10 different, let me find the proper English word, divine manifestations, of which there's a split between the three, what are called imas, the three mothers, and the 7, what the Rebbe refers to as Shivas Binyan. The way to achieve change, the way to achieve closeness to God, the way to achieve fulfillment in life is by focusing on things one thing at a time, but split up into little tiny pieces. You might call it baby steps. The same way a child doesn't know that they don't know how to walk until a certain point. They see other people walking, they see other people moving, so they start crawling because they don't want to be fully dependent on others. They want to grab that toy without needing to cry for it. So they start moving themselves. Same thing as when they want to start walking. We stand them up, they fall down. Until finally they can stand on their own. These are called baby steps. But somehow as adults, we imagine that we make a decision, boom, and we change. And then we get frustrated at ourselves that we didn't change. The reason for this is because we might have more awareness as adults, but the method hasn't changed. And the Rebbe is outlining it here. Pinpoint what we want to change. Do we want to change our hardened exterior? Do we want to change our soft exterior? What are we looking to change here? Let's tap in to the nefesh. Let's tap into the ruach. Let's tap into the neshama. And within that, there's another 10 corresponding manifestations. And we might want to choose which one we tap into in order to be able to work on it one step at a time. And you can work backwards, you can work forwards, but once we understand what we're pinpointing, we actually have the ability to do something about it. And this is the lesson that I take out from Kaf Hey Kislev, the shir for Kaf Hey Kislev. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening.